we got kicked out of our boondocking spot. It was a beautiful one. Last video, we had said we didn't want to be those people. We're those people again. They closed, and it is now 100 acres and not really contained, and told us to get out of here. So we're just getting ready to head out. We just stopped over and was saying goodbye to our friends Alan and Lisa, who we're going to catch up with in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Over where are we going to meet up with them?
Salida for the Escapers Convergence.
Escapers, not Escapers.
Escapers.
Escapers. So we went over and said goodbye to them. They were parked across the street from us, and we were just saying goodbye to Victoria and Craig over there from Wild RV Life.
Yeah.
And Sean and Lauren are going to be heading out with us as well. I got the backup camera all set and angled, I think, correctly. It's kind of hard to tell when we're not on the street yet, but I got it angled out to see pretty far on the horizon. So I'll show you what that looks like, at least shortly. And Michelle's just going to take care of the ramps, and we'll be back with you here shortly. Look at that clear picture. Our friends are behind us, so we actually know that person in the truck back there. Shout out to the Austins. So we are pulling into our boondocking spot, and we are hopeful to snag a good one. It is a Sunday, which we normally do not like to travel on the weekends, but with Sean's work schedule, it just is more convenient and allows him more flexibility for him. And since we already had some scouts up here in this area last week and gave us some good spots, made it a little bit easier. We're just hoping that all the weekenders are gone and we'll have our pick of the cream of the crop. Shout out to Wild RV Life, Victoria and Craig. We're gonna try your spot. So we actually see your trailer tires, so we're gonna go out in the field where you guys were, and hopefully nobody knocks on our door at some point. All right, here comes the Austins travel. There's a fire ring out here. This might be the perfect spot. I don't know if this is the exact spot where you and Craig and Victoria were, but I think it's going to do. It's gorgeous out here. Plus it kind of gets us behind these trees, gives us some protection from the road, and this might be just our spot. Looks like there's some matted down grass. So yeah, shout out. Thanks guys. Loving the spot. We just get to get situated now and figure out which way we want to park. Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty fantastic spot. As you can see, I am now in the back seat of a car. It is not the police car. We had a very nice lady named Patty stop by from the National BLM and National Forest Service area. I think it's a combination of both, or maybe BLM, and told us that our current boondocking spot was actually beyond the limits of the boondocking, so we have to be within 100 yards of the road, and we are at 166. So she said if the law enforcement comes through, they will fine us. And so we have opted to, we had thought about maybe moving closer to the road right where we're at, but then we're pretty close to a pretty busy road and the weekend's coming up. So we're actually going to go find another spot, and Lauren, Sean, and Aiden are going to drive as we go scout. We've got some cones with us to put up if we find a spot so that we can set those up and then go back and get our camper and start heading over there. So yeah, we got kicked out of our boondocking spot. It was a beautiful one, outside of the flies and the mosquitoes. But yeah, Patty, if you're out there watching this now, thank you for being so wonderful and polite and nice. She actually recorded a little segment for Sean and Lauren's channel. So I don't know if I'll be inserting that here or if we'll leave it over on their channel, but she was super nice about it. So yeah, we're gonna go scout and see what we can find. But yep, this isn't the police car that I'm sitting in the back of. All right, I think we found another spot that has potential. It's not going to give us as much solar as we were getting before, to say the least. Actually might be better for shade, keep it a little bit cooler. But if we have to run our generator, we will. We've assessed and decided that running gas in the generator is cheaper than getting fined. So here we go. Sean and Lauren are gonna pull out. I'm gonna leave our cone here to mark our spots so that we can go get our stuff packed up and come on down, and then Sean and Lauren can pack up their stuff and then come down here this afternoon a little bit later once he's kind of wrapped up with his work. You need to be flexible in this lifestyle, and today is a lesson. So it's the first time we've ever actually been asked to leave a camp spot. However, justifiably, it was one of the only times we've camped in a camp spot that wasn't really like a designated area. It did have a fire pit, but I know that our friends put it there. So, or our friends had just been there. I don't know if they built it or not. So we'll blame Victoria and Craig. Okay.
I hope we'll still be able to see him.
So Lauren just stopped over with Aiden. Apparently, she just saw a bear walking through our campsite area. So we're just going to go see if we can find him. And by find him, I mean stay really far away from him, but maybe get... Oh, I see him.
You see him?
No, maybe that's just a log.
He was up there. I don't know, maybe 100 yards. We were just walking.
Were you guys walking on the street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We went for a walk, and we're coming back, and Aiden kept pointing and saying, da, 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 da. But it was a bear. I'm like 100% positive. It was a black bear.
All right, we're heading over. You know, dumb things YouTubers will do for the video.
Yeah, he crossed like...
So he went from the left to the right?
To the right,
okay.
yeah.
So it looks like we were a little late. Lauren and Aiden got to see him. Aiden's actually the one that pointed him out to his mom. And was...
Bear.
Yeah, he was signing bear and pointing at it, calling it a daw, which he calls the dog. So I assume from his perspective way down here,
Yeah.
it probably just looked like a dog running across the street. But yeah, it's off into the woods. There were some bikers that were riding over there as well, Lauren said, that when she saw it initially. But we'll definitely be keeping our eyes out. I'll probably start turning on my security cameras at night, just in case it catches a glimpse of anything around the camper or around the campsite at night. So unfortunately we didn't get to see him this time, but we did see the one in Mesa Verde. Exciting day on many accounts. Our friends Rick and Teresa just arrived, and apparently they brought a forest fire with them. So I know you're not going to be able to really see it here probably on the camera. Let me go back here behind the camper. You can really smell the smoke in the air. There's ash flying around. We just drove down the street to see if we could figure out what was going on. And we couldn't really see it. Looked like it was off on the horizon a little bit further. Teresa just found a Facebook post for the San Juan Ranger District saying that there's a 5 to 6 acre wildfire on the western side of the mountain, which I think is the side on the opposite side of where we're at, where I'm pretty sure we're on the eastern side of it, but we're not sure. You can kind of see the smoke up in the air right there. I called the ranger station just to double check and see what's going on, and they did not answer. They were closed. It closed at 4 o'clock, so you know, it was right at 4 o'clock, so nobody answered. So we're just going to keep an eye on it, and we're going to kind of be on the prep and ready to get out of here if we need to. But we did see a fire truck running down the road right outside our campsite before, but then they were down there and turned around and ran back out the other side. So I think they may have thought it was going to be on this side, and they headed over there. So we'll keep you posted. So in preparation for a potential evacuation, we are just getting everything packed up and kind of put away the best we can. Anything that's going to slow us down. Taking down my security cameras off the roof, taking all the locks off of the travel trailer, etc. And just that way we have that already done. Rick and Teresa were able to find on a Facebook page for the local fire department that things looked okay. They were managing it pretty well, that there were no structural no structures that were in any jeopardy right now, and no pre-evacuation plans. And now that I walk out here, you can really tell that the smoke is dissipating and looks a lot better now. So there's still some over there, but yeah, looks like we might get kicked out of this boondocking spot twice while we're here. Once by the staff, once by the fire. We'll see. Fingers crossed they get this thing under control and we can still say it's looking more and more like it probably will, but Rick got out Google Maps and measured to the top of the mountain. It looks like it's about 2.5 miles as the crow flies from us right now. So we'll keep you updated. We got an update. So apparently they have pulled all of the hand crews off the fire because it's too dangerous. What's wrong, Michelle? Oh, all right. Hold on. So we got an update from Teresa's friend who she reached out to, whose husband is on the fire crew here around Pagosa, and it is now 100 acres and not really contained, and told us to get out of here. So that's what we're doing. We're packing up as quickly as we can. The smell of smoke is a lot stronger than it was. It's probably still on the other side of the ridge, but we're not playing any games. Rick and Teresa just took off, and Sean and Lauren are getting packed up. They're gonna head up to Salida. I'm sorry, they're gonna head up to Colorado Springs tonight. So we're just getting our stuff put together, and then we're getting out of here too. We're gonna rendezvous with Rick and Teresa at Walmart and come up with a plan, maybe another boondocking spot. So it's getting smokier. You can kind of see a lot of haze over there in the trees. So we're definitely glad we decided to get out of here. So Sean and Lauren just took off. Michelle and I are just finishing up our last few things, and we should be ready to go. We'll just get off of our ramps so that we can throw those in the back of the truck, and we'll be heading out of here. I think we're planning on stopping at a dump station first and then meeting up with Rick and Teresa in the Walmart parking lot. Yeah, what a day. Kicked out twice from the same boondocking area. It's always the wandering shores. Michelle got the word from the DNR officer that in fact they're getting ready to close the gate. So I'm glad we were ready when we were. I don't know what would have happened if we weren't. So yes, I'm just driving down the road a little bit further because I need to find a spot to back in and turn around, because I had to come out because of the lip on the road. I had to come out the opposite direction that we need to leave. But I think I'm going to be able to turn around right here in this boondocking spot. And we'll be back on the road. I'll go pick up Michelle. Haven't seen much of her, but she's here. She's in the squad car.
Yep.
So yeah, we got out of there just in time as Michelle was talking to the DNR officer. What'd they tell you?
Well, she goes, "Are you guys heading out?" And I said, "Yes, we are." She said, "Well, because we're going to go down and close the gate, the entrance gate." And I said, "Well, we'll be down there in a minute. We just have to turn around." And she said, "Okay, we'll be there waiting." So they were there waiting. There was another guy who had camped further back, and he was ahead of us leaving too. So when we drove out, there was still one camper there, but there was no car. So that person, I think I saw them drop off their rig about 2 days ago, and haven't seen them come back yet. So they may be in a world of trouble when they get back and the gate's closed and they can't go get their rig. But yeah, so we just stopped at the Speedway here in Pagosa Springs and dumped. Rick and Teresa reached out to us and said that it looks like our best bet is to actually go stay on this property from someone she just was talking to on Facebook, who I think might be an escaper or an escapee, but she was finding out information about the wildfire from her, and I guess they're camped about 20 miles west of where we're at. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit and go stay on their property for a day or two before we head up to Salida. So yeah, we'll get you updated once we get there. So this is what's great about the RV community. So Teresa was talking obviously on the Facebook group about people who live in the Pagosa Springs area, and happened to start talking to Angela and I think it's Mitch, and turns out they're escapers and they have spots for us to park. So as you can see, we are right there. Rick and Teresa are behind us, and yeah, now let me show you over on the horizon. You can see the fire over there. It looks like there's a plane flying through it right now, probably dropping water, but I guess it's expanded to about 90 acres right now. Yeah, it's not under control. And so it turns out, from everything we've heard, it started on
Monday night, Tuesday morning, smoldering from the lightning and thunderstorm that we had. And that was the first lightning and thunderstorm Michelle and I had been in years, probably. We got woke up early on Tuesday morning with lightning and thunder and rain on our camper. So that's what looks like it started it. But hopefully they can get it under control. But yeah, we're going to be here for a couple days, and safe and sound. That's what's important. We'll be back with you soon.